you saw me on the live. I'd just like to say thank you to Molly for doing some wonderful lives recently. If anyone didn't see the live on sliders the other week, or the puffer jackets, the soft shell jackets, you really need to go back and check them out. Really, really useful and really, really helpful for thinking of new ideas for different print options this year if you haven't tried them already. But today I'm really excited to be showing you the brand new PROPLACE IQ machine from Hotronix. This is the next generation of heat press. I'm really, really excited to show it to you. Anyone that's joining us today from Instagram, welcome to the normal feed. Anyone that's normally joining us on YouTube, I think we might be having some problems with Facebook today. So bear me one moment while I just go and check that. Okay, I believe we have some trouble hearing. Let me know if you can or can't hear us. So we just check the audio settings. Hello, hello, can you hear me okay? Let me know if you have any trouble hearing me. Oops, excuse me. So anyway, today we are looking at the next generation of heat press. We know that it's been a while since you saw a next level of heat press. Many of you have got the dual air fusion IQ already, and you want to know what is the next level. So today I want to solve some problems for you. So if you're having any trouble with either placement or efficiency, productivity, let us know in the questions if there's anything we can do to help you. I really want to help you, and that's what the PROPLACE IQ and the dual air fusion with this system is all about. We want to make your life easier, we want to make it quicker and more efficient for you to do your job, get more business, improve that turnaround time. So today, that's what we're all about. Anyone that joined us before when we went through our productivity specialist live, when we showed you how to save up to 11 or even 55 working days a year, this is going to take that to a whole nother level. We're going to save you even more time. Because when we went through those systems, it was all about the loading of the shirt, how we can save you so much more time loading the shirt by understanding your process better. And it was a while ago we did that. So anyone that's new to the lives, anyone that didn't watch that or hasn't gone and seen that yet, I just want all of you to think about this. How do you need to improve your efficiency? How many of you actually know how long it takes to press a shirt? So if you are in the comments today, leave a number, say I think it takes this long to decorate a shirt. But this is a really important KPI. It's a key performance indicator that you need to understand if you want to be a successful printer. How long am I spending decorating? Because if you can understand that number, you can get to the point a little bit quicker. You can improve those numbers and you can set yourself targets to get even quicker, and that way you can increase your turnaround without causing any issues with the quality. You want to maintain consistency but do it quicker. And that's where the PROPLACE really comes into its own. One of the biggest questions I've had over the last couple of years is how can I be quicker, but how can I be consistent? And the best way to be consistent is by putting the same transfer or vinyl in the same place every single time. For those of you that are doing the large jobs, which is where a machine with the two heads really comes into its own, like this dual air fusion, is that it's a really great option because you want to increase that volume. But by increasing volume, you run the risk of rushing through things, and you want to make sure you're doing it the exact same place every single time. So we've heard your comments. You've been saying, this is what I want to improve on. I've got Saturday staff doing this. I can't watch every single person all the time to make sure they get the placement right. I just want to make it really simple. Okay, we've got one person. So Darren saying he reckons 30 to 45 seconds, depending on the transfer type. So this is really good that you know this, Darren. And I know you watch every week, so I know that you're always keen to improve yourself and make your business better. For anyone that's not understanding that number, anyone who looks at Darren's number thinks, I have no idea what a number is, or how is he doing it in 30 or 45 seconds? It's possible for all of you to do this, but you really need to start thinking about that number and understanding that every single day, how long has it taken me? I've had customers that give me some real horror stories, so big customers, and they're spending so much time getting that placement. They're spending so much time with inefficiency. I had one customer, he came in before, and they were spending time doing diagonal prints, which we know is difficult. It's not the easiest one to do, but they were finding that they were putting the shirt on, they're doing the pre-press, so that's good. They were then putting their design on, taping it in place, taking the shirt off the press, going over to another operator, getting them to see, do you think that looks okay? And sometimes it would, and in that case they go on and press it. Sometimes it wouldn't, they go back on, they retape it, go back over again, show them again. At this point, they've wasted at least 30 seconds, probably a minute of their time. But they've also wasted a minute of someone else's time because they've interrupted them from their work. So together they've wasted a minute, 2 minutes of working time when, like Darren says, it should take 30 to 45 seconds to press a t-shirt because you should be able to put it on, place it, get it right. So maybe you've already got a laser system you want to take to the next level, or you're just having to eyeball it. I know some of you will be really efficient and you've got the eye for it because you've been doing this for years. Some of you will always be a bit cautious and you always spend time like, hope I get this right, hope I get this right. Maybe you get a ruler out and you measure it every single time. So your process, although it seems quite efficient, and it is efficient versus many other people's, is not that efficient overall. You really want to be having a really quick process because that way, shirts on, shirts off, next. That way you can improve, improve, improve. So anyway, this customer who was spending 2 minutes sometimes of wasted time, just by that point, by introducing a laser system, they were able to shave that time off because the person never needs to take that shirt off and show someone else. They can just put the projection or laser there. The laser's great, projection's even better because it gets even closer to that accuracy. And by saving 30 seconds per person, a minute per person, they were able to save months a year because they were doing 500 shirts a day, and when you add those numbers up, they really make a difference. Even if you're just doing 100 shirts a day and you were able to save, say, 30 seconds a shirt, you could be saving 20 days a year just by being more efficient, by not doing something that's inefficient. And that's where the ProPlace and many projection systems like this really come into their own, because they just make your life so much easier. So to get things started, just want to step to the side and show you the setup a little bit better. So we have this with the Dual Air Fusion IQ, and this ProPlace system is available for pre-order now. Anyone wants to be one of the first in the UK to own this machine, head to styles.co.uk and search for the ProPlace. It's £8,750, and it's going to save you so much time for that money. This is going to be the best investment you make. We do have finance options available as well. If you want to do a finance to own, there is the option there of owning this for £45 a week spread over a 5-year time. And you can pre-order with finance as well. So if you're thinking about upgrading your machine, but you want to spread the cost a little bit, we can help you there too. And you have the option at that point of the finance either starting the moment you agree it or from the moment it ships to you. It's entirely up to you. We're here to help you. And this is the only machine like this anywhere in the world. We're always proud to be the innovators at Styles Hotronix to bring you the next, the best. So when you look at this machine, any of you familiar with our lives and our videos will know that normally there's a laser system that sits about here and it projects a grid which you can adjust for yourself. But now we've been upgraded with these brand new projection systems. So both sides come with this as standard with the ProPlace IQ. You slot the system in and it immediately projects. You log on to the IQ portal, and I'm going to show you how to do all of this today. So don't worry about it. I'm going to show you everything you need to know. If I'm going too fast over anything, leave a comment and just say, can you show me that again? I'm happy to go through this multiple times. Just get this ProPlace system, and then you can plug in either a screen like we have here on either side, or you can just plug your laptop in. You don't have to have this fancy setup. We find it's easier for us, and if you're doing large jobs, it might be easier just to put a screen on the side. But if you're just getting started and it's just you could just use a laptop. It doesn't matter. Either way, it just plugs in via HDMI, and all of this connectivity is really, really easy to get started. It's all plug and play stuff, so super easy for you all to get started with. You don't have to be a technician to understand how this machine works. It's very simple. It's got the ultimate, it's time, temperature, pressure, and now placement. So it's really, really great. So all you need to do is you turn it on. It comes out of the box, fully formed. Just put the projection system in. You don't have to build anything up. We want to make sure it comes out of the box really easy for you. You turn it on, plug a compressor in. It's got air power as well, which again is taking another inefficient element out of it is someone having to check the pressure and get it right. It's actually controlling that all for you, because in the control system here, you can set your recipes. So I've set it for Ultra Color Max today. It tells you how long before it's going to be heated up. You can even set it to come on 10 minutes before we start work. So if you have another inefficiency people have is people get to work at 9 o'clock, say, turn the machine on and have to wait 15 minutes for heat up. The ProPlace system allows you to set a timer, so this will come on 15 minutes before you start work. So when it comes to 9 o'clock, that means that the machines are ready to press straight away. So you could be saving 15 minutes every single day, which would save you over an hour a week, 4 hours a month, which would give you another 40 hours back each year, just by getting this machine to turn itself on, which seems, again, another great productivity hack which is available with this machine. The only thing you don't get that you see here is the cart that it's sitting on. We know many of you already have your workbench setups for you already, but you can buy the cart additionally. This is a Style Hotronix cart. It can take so much weight. And again, it's all height adjustable. So it means that no matter the user, if they're tall or short, they can just come up, wind the machine up or down, and then it's at the perfect height for them every single time. So to get started, we're going to be switching between cameras a bit today. So again, if you want us to slow down or do something again, it's no problem. I want to get some real close-ups for you of how this machine works to make your life that little bit easier. I'm going to start very simple today, and then I'm going to work up in complexity. So this is a very big design here. This is quite an easy one to place. I still want to show you how it works with a bigger design, and then we'll get more and more complex, and we'll see just how much time you can save on those really difficult designs. So I have a try-dry t-shirt today, and I'm just going to thread this on. The great thing about the ProPlace Dual Layer Fusion IQ is that you get these threadable platens as standard as well. So anyone that watched the previous productivity video where we showed you could save 15 seconds a shirt just by having a caddy stand and a quick slip, which all comes as standard with the Dual Layer Fusion IQ, you were able to save 10 to 15 seconds per t-shirt just by having a caddy stand and a quick slip. So that was able to give you back, say if you're doing 100 shirts a day, that was giving you 11 working days a year back. If you're doing 500 shirts a day, it was doing you 55 working days back. Now we're going to save you even more time. So we're going to get a bit of a close-up here as well. So you can see I've got the projection here. So this can be multicolor, it can be black or white. So depending on the shirt type, you can change the options. So you just thread the shirt on. Just take the collar off here. We're going to give it a quick pre-press, but I'm just going to show you how to line it up first. So you can see here, you've got the transfer and you've got the projection. All you need to do is bring the transfer to the light, just like that. You've got perfect placement. So where before you would have to spend time, does that look okay? Is that straight? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll get a ruler out. You could be wasting 10 to 15 seconds per shirt here. Now what you need to do is just place it really quickly. That's all there is to it. So let's do a full shirt run through and you can see exactly how long it takes. So take the shirt off just to give you a full work through. So let's grab a t-shirt and we'll start it from here. So quickly glide it on, get the collar off just there, bring the machine over. We're going to give it a 3-second pre-press. While that's pressing, grab your transfer, automatically goes back over, line the transfer up again, yep, nice and easy, bring the machine back, 12-second press. Because this is an Ultra Color Max direct to film heat transfer, this is only going to take 12 seconds at 145 degrees, and then I'm going to peel it hot so we can get through that peel nice and quickly. Just like that, the shirt is decorated. So you can see how quick that was for me just by having the ProPlace system there. So I was able to do a quick 3-second press. It probably took me 3 seconds at most to line that shirt up in the right placement, and then another 12 seconds to fuse it. So I was going probably 25 seconds at that point. Really, really quick. And many of you could be taking a minute over that same shirt. So just by having this projection system, mapping out where the transfer needs to be, you could be cutting your production time down by half. That's how much of a massive difference it can make. Now granted, that was an easier decoration to work with. It was just a big circle. This was not the hardest thing to do, let's be honest. That's why I'm starting off easy. But I want to make sure that I'm showing you the full process. I'm going to make, like I said, I'm going to make this more and more complicated. So I want to make your life easier. So just by having that quick projection system, I was able to do this in rapid time. So if you've got a big old design, maybe you've got like a rectangle or a square for a sponsorship, for a sports design, where it's going to be a very uncomplex design to line up. But normally people are spending a lot of time like getting a ruler out or measuring it or trying to eyeball it. Is it straight? Because the projection comes down perfectly, there's a perfect line for it to match up with. It's really, really simple that way. So it means you can get through that work so much quicker. So let's do one more. So now I'm going to show you how to change the design. So I'm just going to go over here. I'm just going to change my design so it projects differently. But after that point, I'm going to go and show you the IQ portal where you set everything up. So if you're thinking, how does that even work? Don't worry, I'm going to show you in just a moment. So I'm going to go over to my screen over here. And I'm just going to select a different design. And I'll go through all this in much more detail. Here we have a new design. So we're just going to, thank you, Molly. So again, this one is a little bit more complicated. This might look simple, but this has a curved text on here. So this is not as straightforward as place it down. Just because it's cut like a rectangle, you're still going to have to line this up perfectly. So it just adds another layer of complexity to it. So now, again, I'm going to get the t-shirt, and then I'm going to thread it on. So you see here, really, really easy. But one of the questions we get a lot is they're thinking, okay, that's very nice, but the problem I've got is still, how does someone put this on properly? So that's what I've done this time, is I've allowed the grid to show. So last time, I just had a blank image with a transfer on there. The reason I've done that is because you have a line right down the middle, and you also have this neck label, because I'm using this Bella Kansas shirt today, which sits exactly in the middle. So I think all of you can see that. Just want to check.
Yeah, they're good.
So if I line this up in the middle here, and I just slide it off. But again, this process does not take a lot of time, so I'm just going to run that through you again. So slide the t-shirt on. Let the collar come onto it, even though we're not going to press on there. See it comes through the middle, put it to the side slightly, just like that. I've got a t-shirt that's on there, perfectly centered. And I just want to run through that one more time, because I'm still seeing a lot of you placing shirts on patterns like this, or like this, and then fusing tops. You need to stop doing this, because this particular neck will indent into the back, and it's not going to come out sometimes. It'll look really terrible. So you have to thread your shirts. This is really essential. So again, we're going to put this top on here, check the neck label, peel it off. So I've changed from a black to a white shirt here, and I can still see it just as easy. We can change the color. So I've changed from a white to a black t-shirt, and I can still see the image easily. The great thing about the IQ portal for the ProPlace is you can change the color as well, but you can see even changing between shirt colors, it's still really easy to place your design. And just as a reminder, I've got this curved design to line up, so I'm just adding a slight layer of complexity to this alignment, but you can see it's still really easy. So as you can see here, when you're looking at it, normally you'd be like, how do I get this straight? But by having this projection system here, just line those letters up again, just like that, I've got really great placement. So I tend to start over this side. So where I'll bring the H up here, and then I'll bring it round to the curve here.
Just move your right hand for everyone, Andy. That's it.
There we go.
Just so they can see the H properly.
So what I tend to do once you get into a pattern of alignment here is I always look for a kind of a point to line up from, and then I'll use the same point every single time. So in this instance, I'm going to bring in the H up first, and then I'm going to match it on the C over here. That way I know that everything else now is perfectly lined up. When I go over there and I go over here, I've got perfect edges all the way through. So let's take the transfer and the shirt off again, and we'll just run through this quickly from the top. Just to show you again how quick it is to do with the projection. Slide that t-shirt on, make sure I line up the neck label, pull the t-shirt off, bring the machine over, pre-press, get your transfer, then we're going to line it up again, and this is going to be in the same place every single time. Wonderful. Bring it back over, and then we'll fuse. So this is much more complex than the previous design, but it was just as quick. It was maybe a split-second difference of increased time, but only a split second. It's not like 5 seconds, it was probably 0.3 of a second. Again, we can hot peel this, t-shirt off, next one on. And that's not even factoring in the point that I can be doing 2 of these at the same time. So I'm saving so much time just by having the projection system. I could actually go twice the speed of probably most single-headed heat presses just with this. But I've got the benefit of having 2 of these as well. So I can be loading the next t-shirt, getting the next alignment done at the same time. So I'm really saving so much time here. Really, really quick. So what I want to do now is I want to show you the system of how we get to that point. So I've given a couple of, one easy, one sort of medium level alignment to show you how it's done. I want to show you how you get your design set up, because this is really easy. And if any of you have got an IQ machine, I'd love to see some people in the comments. Let me know if you have an IQ machine, but let me know if you've been using the IQ Cloud properly, because I want to show you how easy it is for you to be able to start using this system. So let me just share my screen with you.
We've got a few of our regular joiners with us this week. I just want to say hello to everybody. We have got quite a lot of questions rolling in, Andy, but I'm going to wait until you've done majority of your demonstration, because I think you're going to answer most of them throughout the course of this live anyway. So if everyone just stays tuned, then you'll probably get your questions answered in the next half an hour.
Okay, so here we are. This is the IQ portal. If you have a Hotronix IQ machine, so this is the Fusion IQ, which is the manual machine. If you have a 360 IQ or any of the air-powered machines like the dual air fusion, the single air fusion, on a caddy or not, you can use this portal for free. This is a really great resource for you, because as well as having the ProPlace area, this also has reporting. So any of you that have got machines that you are like, you've got more than one, and you're like, how much is my machine working for me? You can see exactly how many prints these machines are doing. So you can see here, we've been using the 360 IQ lots recently. I know Beth has been filming lots of new content for you to learn how to print hats properly. You can find out how many times you've done it wrong. Are we putting too much pressure on it? Is the temperature too low? And we've still started fusing. So if anyone is making mistakes and you want, or you've got something returned to you and you want to check, have we done anything wrong? You know, let's question ourselves before we start to put up a front on this. You can check your system to know, actually, I've used that for too short a time. I put too much pressure on, so maybe I have made some mistakes, but at least you'll know that way. But today I want to talk about ProPlace IQ. This is the brand new area of the IQ portal, which is going to make your life so much easier. All you need to do to create a layout on here, you just start a new layout. So I'm just going to call this live. You click the tick box to save it. Then you simply upload an image. That's how easy it is to do. So let's pick one of these. got levers design here. And we're just going to load it up. It'll only take a few seconds. And then at that point, we can change the size of it. So I know for a fact this is 11 inches. Just like that, it resizes. Obviously, this is a white print, so you can't see it at the moment. So all you need to do is change the projection color on the background for it, change it to red, and just like that, you can see it. So in the first instance, you make sure you've got the right size, which is in edit mode. Then you want to rotate that image around. So when you're threading it on properly, you've got it in the right place. You place it wherever it needs to be. So let's say you're going in the back print for levers, you're going to want to bring it down, say 3 or 4 inches down. So that way you know when the hood sits, it's still going to see a perfect levers print. Or for instance, if this was a left chest design, make it a bit smaller, change the size of it, let's make it say 6 inches. Then you can place it in the left chest area, and that's it. That's all you have to do to set up a ProPlace system. You define the size of the image and it will match it perfectly on the projector, tell it where it's going to be, and every single time it's going to be in the exact same place. That's how simple it is to do it. So it's really not very complicated at all, but this is going to have such a big impact on your printing life, because now you can make sure it's in exactly the same place every single time. Much like the dual air fusion and the air fusions already, it's about taking those human errors out of the way. So what I mean by that is, people can get it wrong. I have made so many mistakes, especially on these lives trying to line stuff up, because I'm always doing it at the side angle to show you, because I want to be communicating with you. But it means I make so many mistakes doing that. Sometimes you can't tell because I'll hold it up wonky, but I can tell you that I've made mistakes here, and we make mistakes. Maybe we're fusing some shirts for printman promotion. We'll make some mistakes on there because we're not professionals like all of you, but we know how difficult it is. And we do print at volume, especially in our US, in the States, where we have a fulfillment center for the big customers. And we want to make sure that this technology has been built for ourselves because we know the problems that can happen. So where we've solved a few problems when it comes to things like pressure with these air-powered machines, because the machine is going to control everything, now we want to help you with placement. So like I said, you just have to go onto this, upload your artwork, and then you can create layouts. And you can create folders for these layouts. So what I encourage you to do when you're using this machine is, if you have a particular customer which you have lots of designs for, create a folder, click Add Folder, click Live, click Save, and all of those designs you just drag into the folder. And that way you're doing a job for a particular customer. So then I've saved a few of these already. Go to levers, pick the particular college, for instance, click that one, wait for a moment for it to load up, and then you'll be able to line it up every single time. That's how easy it's going to be. I've got a few different ones in there. Just click through all of them. There, one moment. I'm just having a bit of a Wi-Fi moment here. There we go. So that one, for instance, is one I'm going to be doing in a minute. It's really, really tiny design you can see here. I've got some other ones as well. And all you need to do is switch between them, and that way you can get started. So let's go back to doing some printing. If you want me to go through that again, give me a shout, leave a comment. Because we're going to start taking things to the next level of complexity. So I've already preloaded those designs in the IQ portal. And because this screen over here is also logged into the same portal, it's got all of those layouts that I'm waiting for. And if you have got a screen plugged in, I'd encourage you to just have a mouse and a keyboard nearby. You can do that, or you can just go over to the screen, tap that away, upload the next one. And that's how easy it is going to be to get everything loaded up. So just a reminder for everyone, this machine is available to pre-order now. It's going to be 8750, but if you want to be one of the first people to own one of these machines, you do need to get that pre-order in now to be one of the first. So the shipment will arrive in August and it will ship straight out to you same day, but you need to be getting in early to make sure you secure your system.
Sorry, Andy, are you going to the screen next or to the platen?
probably to the screen next.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're good.
Just waiting for my design to catch up. There, one moment. This one's already done. There we go, that's the small one I wanted. So, what I really want to show to you, so if you just, there we go, thanks Mark. I'm just going to go to the camera now just to show you how tiny this detail is. So you can see, next to my hand, this is really tiny. So one of the questions we get a lot when we're at shows with this machine is, yeah, that's great, but what if I'm doing just a tiny left chest and it's really detailed, so like this one. And the great news is, it's just as easy. So I'm going to make that screen really large. Again, I'm going to grab a t-shirt now. And we're just going to thread on. Again, I've got the tri-dry again here, but you can also line up the neck label because it's center aligned there. Let's pull it off to the side. And at that point, we can either choose to drag our image around if we want to put it somewhere different, or just bring it into the middle here. And then we can see we've got the grid here, so we've got center aligned, and we can see the design just needs to come over slightly. Oops. This is what I mean about getting things wrong at an angle, which is why the placement thing is going to really help people. So again, tiny, tiny detail. So bring the trans so you can see here, put my hand next to it so you can see just how small we're going to go with the detail. But again, all you need to do is drag it onto the design. Just like that, even at the tiniest detail, that was just as quick as lining everything else up. So let me see if you can see the detail here. So you've got the O there. If I put it back over the top, it lines up perfectly. So, just like that. So then when I'm actually coming to placing, what I tend to do is I'll put the transfer slightly over. I'll try and do it with one hand so you can see what I can see, and I'll match it with the O. So I always find a center point, or I'll use the line here and a line from the transfer, and I'll just bring them together. That way it's very easy to go really quickly with even the tiniest print. So let's do this again. So we're going tiny detail, remember? So you can see really, really tiny, but we're going to do this just as quick. Let's take that t-shirt off. So we'll thread. We'll get it lined up with the neck so we know we're going to get this right in the middle. Bring it over for a pre-press. Grab that transfer again, so as soon as it moves back over, we're ready to come in with the placement. We'll go just past it, bring it up to catch it up. Bring the press back over. Fuse it, so 12 seconds, 145 degrees, and this is just how easy it is to do even the tiniest placements and scale that up. So we know there's always going to be that customer that has a really, really difficult placement. And then we just peel it hot, just like that. Before the camera had even caught up with it, I'd already fused it. That's how quick it is. Take it back off. Let me show you that. So you can see, I pull the shirt out. You can see this is perfectly placed in the center of that shirt. Really tiny, tiny detail, but it was just as quick. That was just as easy to do as any other placement. That's how quick and easy it is to do with this ProPlace system. So have we got any questions coming in? I know that seems very easy, and I'm not going to want to make sure that we give you all the help you can need on this. So is there any questions coming in, Molly?
We do have a few questions. Darren would like to know if the ProPlace has a standard plug or if you need a special outlet for it.
So Darren, I know you're in Kansas, so I would encourage you to refer to the styles.com website for this, because the powers are different from country to country, from continent to continent. In the UK, we recommend having a 3-phase for this machine. Because it's a bit more powerful, you're going to be plugging the air pressure into it as well, so we do recommend 3-phase.
We have another question which you have just answered. Does this work with any size design? Which obviously yes, Andy's just demonstrated that.
I'll do another really tiny detailed one for you in just a moment as well.
That leads me on to my next question. How much detail can it project? The next stage fuse we're going to do is going to be a lot more detailed as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. And one that you have already answered, but we can always recap it if this person has missed it. But how do I know I've lined my shirt up correctly with the projection lines?
Let's do that one again then, because I want to show everyone how easy it is to do.
Right, we're back on plan.
We've got this centre line down the middle. Thread the t-shirt on. And then you can see here with a neck label like this one. Is that showing up okay? Just want to make sure you can all see that. So if you can see where my finger is. You've got the neck label, and then you just very gently grab both corners, slide it back off. Neck label sits just up. So the front, beginning of the neck just sits slightly off here. And just like that, we can fuse it. Really, really simple.
That is all of the questions for now. I'm sure we'll have some more in a moment, but shall we move on to the next application?
Let's do one more then. So next up, I have the slider design from the other week. So anyone that remembers the sliders, if you're joining us a little bit later. So that, again, really tiny detail. We put these onto the new sliders from Audis a few weeks ago. So this is meant for a slider, so that's why I wanted to use it today, to show you just how detailed we can go. I'm just going to spin the shirt around and do this on the back. So again, something I just want to highlight, another advantage of having threadability is for those of you that have multiple press locations, or you're fusing front and back, remember, you can peel it off slightly, and then spin it round. Just like that, you've changed to the other side. So again, another efficiency hack here. It just makes your life so much easier by having the option to pull off slightly, spin around, and do the next side. So anyone that's doing sports tops in particular, where you might be doing a sponsorship logo followed by name and number, fuse the front with the sponsorship logo, maybe the sports badge, put off the side, spin it round, and you're straight onto the next print like that. So this is really simple again. So I've changed the color of the background this time to be blue. The reason I've done that is because there's white text here. So again, I want to make sure that I can line everything up perfectly. So depending on how you like to do things visually, you're either going to try and line up the letters or the circles. But this way, it's really super simple for either way. So change the lighting to be blue, just to make sure everything shows up nicely. And then again, very easy just to place it on like that. And as you can see with my hand next to it, this is a really small print. You've got, I don't know if you can see that, tiny, tiny styles lettering here. Got a little apostrophe. So this again should normally take people, say, best case scenario, 10 seconds to line this up. Could even take 30 seconds. If you can save that sort of time on every single print, if you're doing 100 shirts a day, that would still save you 3 working weeks a year just by having the system. So let's start the fuse from the top again. So you thread your top on, make sure the collar's hanging off the side, bring it over for a pre-press, 3 to 5 seconds. Anyone that's still not pre-pressing their tops, shame on you, should be doing this. Wait for it to send it back over, grab your transfer, look for the light. Again, tiny detail. It took me a matter of probably not even a full second to place that. Fuse it. As soon as it's done, we're going to peel it hot because we're using our direct-to-film. For anyone that is new to styles, our direct-to-film is a one-step application. So this is something to look out for when you're thinking about heat transfers with this system. There we go, just like that. You've placed it perfectly. So let me bring it around to the other camera. So you can see the tiny detail again. So you can see that really small detail. It's not even showing up the lettering on the camera. That's how small it is. Just to barely see that. That's how tiny the detail is. But I was able to place that in less than a second, something that would normally take you 10, 20 seconds easily, and I was able to save that time. So if you were doing, say, 500 shirts a day and you could save 10 seconds, you've already saved 10 seconds, and that's going to save you 55 working days a year. Just by having the quick slip and the caddy, you could save another 55 days working a year. So if you are just using a normal press, maybe a cheap press with no threadability, no quick slip, no projection, you could save 30 seconds a top. You could almost cut your production down by half at that point. So imagine how much spare capacity you would have by owning one of these machines from Hotronix. And like I said, this is £8,750 plus VAT. So this is not even an expensive machine. This gives you the best heat press on the planet by far. And all you need to do is upload your artwork as a PNG, say what size it's going to be, check the placement, and then repeat, repeat, repeat. So if you're doing, even if you're doing 10, it's going to save you a lot of time. If you're doing 500 or say 1,000, 10,000 of the same job, this is going to be so much quicker. Your staff are going to be so much happier because you're going to make their life so much easier, but you can increase your capacity and your workload without having to hire anyone else, because they're just going to be quicker at their own job. So apart from once you bought the machine, you're going to be able to bring in so much more business for your work. So this £8,750 kind of pales into comparison to the gains your business is going to make. If you can double the amount of work you can bring in, even conservatively bring in an extra 25% of work that you normally turn away because you're too busy, you don't have time, this machine will probably pay for itself in like a couple of weeks. So I really want you to think about that turnaround time it takes you to actually fuse a top. You could see it took me probably less than 20 seconds to do that one with really tiny detail, and all I needed to do was have a projection system. It took me 10 seconds to set it up, maybe 30 seconds a minute to be conservative to get it right, but then it's done, and then every single time it's going to be in the same place every single time. So that's how easy it is to get involved with the projection system. You don't have to be an IT technician to get this working. And as a reminder for everyone, anyone that's new today to us, if you want to get super detailed transfers like that, they're available on custom.styles.co.uk. Just going to bring up the website for you all to see it. So these are available with a quick turnaround, Ultra Color Max. If you order by 8 AM, we'll ship it the same day for you. That's how quick we can turn that around. Even the volume product. So this ProPlace machine is built for volume. This is the people who are doing 100 shirts, 500 shirts, and you want to order, say, 500 or 1,000, 10,000 of the same design. In that instance, I wouldn't recommend the direct-to-film option. I would go with something like our Ultra Color or a screen printed transfers if it's just one or two colors, because you can get much better price points for these designs. So let's have a look at Ultra Color. All you need to do is pick a layout. So let's go with an A4 today for argument's sake. You'd add your design onto there. So I'm going to pick from my design library. So I'm going to pick one of the designs from today. So let's go with, I don't know, let's go with the happiness one perhaps. So select that design. That's quite a big print. And if we order 10, it's only £5. But if we start to order, say, 100, it's £1.98 per transfer. If I order 1,000, which if you've got one of these machines, you could quite easily working through, £1.25 per transfer. 10,000, £1.15. So the price comes down really quick once you start to get into these bigger quantities. We can manufacture these in 2 days and get them back to you. So if you get that job, say Monday, you come in, someone wants 1,000, 5,000 of a particular job, and they want it by the end of the week, and it's August, you can be like, do you know what? I can get that ProPlace. I can get that next day, I can get the transfers in 2 days, and I can get to work and I can start turning that round, start sending parts of this job through already. So if you're coming into busy season, September, October, November, and you know you're going to want to increase that turnaround, you want to increase your revenue by bringing in more business, then you need to think about the ProPlace IQ. So if you want to order one of these machines, just go to styles.co.uk. We are the home of heat printing in the UK, and we have all of these machines in stock. So once it comes around to August, we'll receive this machine, but you can pre-order it now and be one of the first people in the UK. So there will be a limited amount when it first arrives. So if you want to be one of the first to gain this competitive edge, you just go to styles.co.uk, search for the ProPlace IQ under heat presses, and there it is. It's available to pre-order now. That's how easy it is to up your business level to the next level. If you're looking to see what the next generation of heat presses looks like, it's right here, the ProPlace IQ. We launched it at Printmail Promotion. Anyone that would like to see it in person, perhaps leave us a comment, info@styles.co.uk, get in touch, and we can help you out. Want to make sure that you all get a competitive edge, want to see you all succeed more going into the 24-25 season. So make sure you get your ProPlace now. Have we got any more questions?
We do have quite a few, if you're ready for me to quick fire at you. Does the IQ system come with the ProPlace?
Yeah, it's free. It's iq.hotronix.com. You go on there, set up your account. You can add all of your heat presses, whether they've got the ProPlace or not. If you've got 360 and you've got Fusion, add them all on, add users on there. One of the other great parts of having the IQ system is that you can lock down certain recipes. We always talk about every single week, we're here, time, temperature, pressure. Now we can talk about placement as well. But time, temperature and pressure, you want to control those, because if you get them right, the actual application part, that transfer, that vinyl is going to stay on all the time for the lifetime of that garment. So by locking down those recipes, making sure no one can change them, try and speed it up, get the temperature higher, it doesn't work. So you can have manager access to the IQ portal as well. But it's just iq.hotronix.com, and you can find everything you need to know to control your machines from there.
How many designs can you store in the ProPlace IQ system at one time?
It's unlimited. You know, we've not going to limit you on what you can store on there. We know that people who are buying this machine are busy people. They've got lots of customers. They've got lots of designs for those customers. Much like the EasyView system we have for ordering our transfers, we don't limit you on file size. We don't limit you on the number of transfers. We're here to make your life easier, so don't worry about the amount of designs you might have to upload in there.
And then the final question that we have today is, can you just run through the IQ controller on the heat press for the people watching? So we've done a lot of close-ups on the actual press platen.
Shall I bring it over to this side?
Yeah, if you bring it over this way, I can crop this camera to it. Just want to make sure everyone can see what you're doing.
Okay, it's a good question. So when you turn this machine on, you've got it will immediately come up to the same settings you had before, but if you want to change it, you click on the bottom left here. It looks like a book. This takes you to your library. Here you will find everything preloaded you could possibly want. So we've already loaded up our transfers and our heat transfer vinyl products into here. So if you're an existing customer, you can just be like, yeah, go down, you know what, I use Ultracolor. When you order your transfers from us, we always give you the exact recipe for what you need to do. So I've changed product here from Ultracolor Max, which is 145 degrees, to our low temperature transfer Ultracolor. And it says I'm cooling to 120 degrees C, and it's going to take me 13 minutes to do that. Then you'll know that you've got 120 here. We've already set it to medium pressure, which is 50 psi, and we've got it set for pre-press. We've also got it set for a main press. So all of the work in terms from recipe point of view is already done. And because everything we do is very much a very clear and concise recipe, it's already preloaded. Or perhaps you wanted to be doing some sports film for those of you that are using a lot of vinyl. That way you can just click sports film, and it's going to heat to 160 degrees. That's only going to take 1 minute. But it knows, again, medium pressure, 5-second pre-press, but then it's changed it to be a 5-second main press because it's sports film. This is the world's quickest fusing vinyl. And all you need to do is just go to library and select your options. If you want to add in your own recipes, again, it's very easy. We can just do one here. We'll just call it, let's call it PROPLACE. So just name it. Enter. You set the temperature for it. So let's say 150. Enter. You're going to do your first timer. So you can see you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you have multi-step applications for you that are doing different things, or you might be wanting to spin it around, do a front, back, whatever your system is, say 5 seconds. So let's do a 3 seconds pre-press. Let's do a 10-second main press. Just change it here, enter, and then just like that, we just click save, and then that's it. That's all we need to do. So then we go down to the library, we find PROPLACE, excuse me, clicked into the library, go down to PROPLACE, and then it's going to say 5 minutes to cool down, and it's got my recipe for it pre-programmed just like that. That's how easy it is to use the LED system on there. So really, really simple. We just want to make your life easier.
We have one more question. Heather wants to know if the measurements are always in inches.
They're in inches at the moment. By the time the system launches, there'll be centimeters available as well. This is just for demonstrations today, but like I said, the machine will be available in the UK from August. At that point, we'll be able to change it to centimeters to match for UK customers. So by the time it arrives for you, if you pre-order your machine and be one of the first people to own one in the UK, you'll be able to use it in centimeters by the time you need to.
Okay, I think that's everything we have for today. Do you mind plugging my live for next week before you go, Andy?
Absolutely. What is the live for next week?
So next week we're doing how to fulfill last-minute levers orders.
Anyone that is still working through their levers designs, or anyone that's got a last-minute job, someone's come to them, perhaps their printer's let them down and need help with levers designs. If you're getting those questions, join us next Friday. Molly is going to show you how easy it is to do. If you've got 3 levers or 500 levers, it doesn't matter. If you follow the system that she's going to put in place for you, very easy steps to get that work done. So that way, if someone has asked you for levers this week or next week, say yes, and then come and join us next Friday and we'll show you how easy it is to do so you can get those out really, really quickly, and you're not going to let anyone down just by saying yes. We've also done some really interesting podcasts recently. So if you are new to the lives and you're new to Styles, we put a podcast out every Monday. So head to either Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever you like to get your podcasts from. We have some really great ones for you we've done recently there as well. And we have some fantastic content coming up on our YouTube page. There's a whole library of stuff on there of how to start a business, how to grow a business, how to try different techniques for printing on different types of materials. So everything we can do to help you is on there. If there is something you would like to see, do leave us a comment, say, can you do a video on this? And we'll try and factor it into our recording schedule. If there's someone you'd like to see on the podcast, anyone you think we should be interviewing, maybe we should be interviewing you if you've got a great story to talk about. We'd love to hear from you. So leave a comment, say, I'm interested in the podcast, or tag someone on Instagram and say, you should interview this person on the last video for our podcast. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Perfect. We have no more questions on YouTube or LinkedIn coming in, so I think you're good to wrap up,
Perfect.
Andy.
All right. There's a couple of minutes left before 1 o'clock. So thank you all for joining me today. Thank you for staying through this. I hope you found it useful. And if you take anything away from today, it's time yourself on how long it takes you to fuse a t-shirt and find some ways you can save your time by being more efficient. Start with a quick slip, start with a caddy, and then move on to PROPLACE. But you can save days, weeks, and months, a year by having the best system, and it's available to pre-order now. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you very soon.